Kit.
I'm Dr. Pierce. Have a seat.
Thank you.
So, I understand that you've had some concerns for your friend Aubrey. Is that true?
Yeah, so we're both in college, and so we've been roommates for about 3 years. So we've gotten very close over the years, and through our time at college, we've had many relationships, some good, some bad, but this one has struck me as really weird, and it's come to the point where I need to see you, because she comes home with these marks on her wrists and on her arms, just everywhere, and she always just seems more quiet than usual. She's a very outgoing person, but since this relationship, she's much more quiet. And the guy that she's with, name is Chris, and I've noticed his aggressive behavior, but I never want to talk to her about it because that's kind of a weird thing to talk about because I could be really wrong and I don't want to offend her. Mm-hmm. But I think there's something much more serious going on, and I think I want her to get help, and I think that's where you could come in.
Okay, so what do you think the problem is?
The problem is I think she has a lot of stress going on with the relationship. There was this one night and it was really bad. I came home, I was working, and so I came home, it was late at night, and there was stuff all over the room, like just everywhere, and that's not usually like our apartment. Our apartment's pretty tidy, but like vases were smashed, everything was just demolished, and I didn't know what went on.
Aubrey, come home.
So I couldn't find her, and usually she's like in the same spot on the couch reading, and today she wasn't, so I was like, oh, well, that's a little weird. So then I went to the closet and I found her crying in the closet, and she had blood everywhere. She had scrapes all over her legs and arms, and she just looked like a mess. And I also saw police outside, but they didn't cross where I came in, so I went out and I met them, and I figured something was correlated, and they told me that Aubrey had been in a really bad situation, and she got really badly physically abused, and I automatically made the connection to Chris, and so I think he hurt her, and that I think she's experiencing some PTSD, which might be a really far stretch, but I think you could look into that and figure it out.
Well, I'm glad that you came to me, and I'd be glad to take a look at your friend and see if there's anything I could do.
Thanks. Before you start, I have a couple questions, I guess. Like what the treatment will be, what your plan is for her, just so I can be prepared to get her prepared and she could be prepared.
Those are really good questions. I'm so glad you asked. So, I'm a cognitive psychologist and a psychiatrist, which just means that I can practice medicine. So, pretty much what I'm going to be doing as a cognitive psychologist is I'm going to be trying to identify bad thinking behaviors in your friend's mental state. So if there's any thoughts that she's having, I'm going to try to identify any destructive thoughts. I'm going to try and help her rationalize what she's thinking, so when she revisits the uncomfortable situations and thoughts, she'll know how to react. I don't know the severity of her symptoms, but if it is bad enough, I may need to prescribe her some medicine for the time being, just so that she can be able to function if what you say is true, if this really is as bad as you think that it is.
Okay.
So let's go meet your friend.
Let's go do that. I'll bring her in.
Aubrey? Hi, I'm Dr. Pierce. Nice to meet you. I'm here to address some concerns that your friend Kit has had.
Can we move the vases now?
Oh, okay. Let's start off easy. How have you been sleeping lately?
I mean, not as well as a kid. I've been sleeping on my couch, and I kind of like a crick in my neck.
Is there any specific reason why you've been sleeping on the couch?
Do you want me to tell her? Well, the bedroom is where her incident took happen, so when she's in that setting, things remind her of it. And so since then, she's not come back, so she's just been sleeping on the couch and stuff.
Okay.
Okay. So that's actually one of her trigger words. She has some triggers since the attack, and even a little bit before them, but they weren't bad at all. You know, it's just something's bothered her that are unusual. But since the attack, it's been getting really bad.
Okay. I completely understand. Why do you get so upset when you hear your ex-boyfriend's name?
When the policeman came in, he just kept saying his name, and all the emotions were just so raw to me at that point in time. I couldn't deal with it. It just brought back so many flashbacks, and now every time somebody says the name, it just brings back the memories of that night and everything that happened.
Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. So, I'm sure you're aware that that name is fairly common. So, what do you do when you encounter other people who have the same name?
I don't really go outside anymore.
Yeah, especially at night, streetlights are a big one. That's where her and Chris first kissed, but it's also where he first hit her.
Chris?
Chris! My
Continue.
bad. One night they were, I don't know, I guess just got home, we came back from their date or whatever. They just met. And she came home with a little scratch on her face. I didn't really think much of it, but now she's so scared to go under any streetlight at night. Even see one kind of triggers her. So she only really goes out at night with someone that she really trusts.
Okay, well...
And I also kind of feel like there's no point in going outside. I realize that there are other people out there like him, and I'm just scared that somebody like him is going to come and hit me or rape me again.
Well, I'm really glad that you're being so open and honest with me. I know this isn't the easiest thing to talk about, and I really am glad that you're so willing to talk to me about this. So, we're going to take a little break, and maybe we can talk about something a little bit lighter, like what you do in your free time, or what's something that you enjoy doing.
Oh, I'm a florist. I love just, flowers and all good things like that, and I just love to make people's day brighter. Like, you never know where those flowers are going. Like, they could be going to somebody's, first date, or, homecoming. Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, but I had to quit my job because of the vases.
So why did we have to move the flowers before the appointment?
I mean, it wasn't the flowers, it was the vases. Whenever he attacked me, he just hit me over the head with the vase.
Yeah, we had to move all of them away from the house, which turned out to be a really good thing for me. Because I took up a new business I knit sweaters for cats.
Okay.
And so, but then I realized, why not incorporate more into my business? So I now cremate cats.
So
Get your cat cremated today.
Okay, getting back on track. I want to discuss any recurring memories that you've been having since the attack. So are there any dreams or flashbacks that you've been having during the day?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
I can.
And?
The question is, will you elaborate?
I'm gonna need therapy after this. Will you please elaborate on the dreams that you have been having?
Okay, well, they're not every night. It really alternates. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, it's the dream of a dark figure chasing me up the stairs and shoving into my closet. But on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday,
I said this huge Swedish fish coming and gulping me, like Jonah the whale, and I just feel so content because I just kind of eat my way out. Oh, Swedish fish.
Okay, well, I'm not really sure that has much to do with the situation, but good note. Do you do drugs?
no.
We're gonna have to put you on some. But alright, I feel like I have a fairly good idea of your situation. You definitely have a prominent stressor. You have reoccurring memories that seem to inhibit your ability to function. I can tell you're avoiding things, which is very difficult for you, and I understand. And I think that you're a very good candidate for PTSD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be teaching you some techniques that will help you rationalize these thoughts that you're having and hopefully allow you to go back outside and eventually get back to going to class.
All right, thank you, Dr. Pierce. Sounds good.
Okay, I feel like I have a fairly good idea of your situation. You definitely have a prominent stressor. You're having intrusion symptoms. You're avoiding certain things like your room and, going outside, which is inhibiting your social activity. And I really think that this makes you a candidate for PTSD. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and teach you some techniques that will help the way that you're thinking about all of the things that set you off, and hopefully get you back to a place where you can go outside, go into your room, and just function a lot better than you are right now. All right?
I think you can do that, yeah.
Good. Do you think I would want to hurt you? I mean, I know I haven't known you as long as you've known Kit, but you don't seem to have any problem with expressing how you feel to me, and you're very open, so why am I any different?
I mean, I just didn't really trust you at the beginning, but Kit seemed to trust you, so I thought, why not?
Now, would I have any reason to want to hurt you?
No.
Then why would anyone else who's simply walking by you on your way to class while you're walking on campus want to hurt you?
I mean, you do make a point there, but yeah, I guess they wouldn't. I'm just worried about what my friends will think about me. Like, I don't think they'll want anything to do with me after the attack. They probably just think I'm all crazy now.
I know a lot of people who are in a similar situation to you. As for your friends, I'm sure that if they knew about the accident, they would really want to help you and make you feel good about it. Are you okay?
Really?
Yes. I've seen a dozen cases like this. You're not alone in this.
Thank you, Dr. Pierce.
So it looks like we're running a little short on time for this session. But I want to go over some stuff that we're going to do in future sessions so that you're not surprised when we get to them. I realize that you have a lot of triggers that are very common, like your room and street lamps, which are everywhere outside. So I'm going to do what psychologists like to call exposure therapy. So
Expose my pee?
exposure therapy.
Oh yeah.
No. That is where I'm going to slowly expose you to the things that cause you anxiety, like your room, for example. So one day I might have you come in and just imagine your room. Like don't go into your room, don't touch anything, just imagine your room and think about walking into your room and the things that are going on. I know it seems a little scary. And then maybe somewhere down along the line I may have Kate bring in one of your pillows or something, so that you can get familiar with the things in your room again. Okay?
Okay, I mean, it seems a little frightening, but I guess you know it works. Right, Kit?
Yep. This is all going to be very gradual. I'm not going to do anything that would cause you any major anxiety or stress. I know it will be a little uncomfortable, but I wouldn't do anything that would cause you harm, and it'll all be okay. For the time being, I may also prescribe you some medication for your symptoms, like Paracetin. It's a PTSD-based drug. It's used to get rid of the nightmares and recurring visions that you have and flashbacks that you have during the day. If you don't like it or it's not working, we could either up your dose or we could look into some medicines from the SSRI groups, which are used for antidepressants, but they can also be used on PTSD patients. Some of those drugs are Zoloft and Paxil. Email me if you have any questions or concerns, and I will see you in our next session.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Kitty Cat, anything else?